What's going on, peeps? Welcome to the very first episode of Everything and the Truth, hosted by me, Verse. I want to welcome you to this space. It's something that I had in mind for quite a few months, a little while now, and I wanted to do something a little different. So I do hope that you enjoy this new venture and concept of mine titled Everything and the Truth. First and foremost, I want to say thank you for sharing this time with me. And I'm going to kindly ask you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And make sure that you follow us on all social media platforms. All right, now with that said, let me jump into our very first segment, which is called Talk of the Talk, because we know you like to talk. Soul Beach 2025 took place in St. Martin, and in my perspective, in my eyes, I think it was a huge success. I think it was a great look for the island. I know that many hotels were full. I know that taxi drivers got jobs. I know that a lot of vendors out there, got a chance to stretch the buck a bit. So for me, it was a great look. I just want to say big ups to the Ministry of Tourism, big ups to TIAT, big ups to the organizers of Soul Beach. I do hope that they bring it back. Of course, in St. Martin, you can never satisfy everybody. That is just the way it is. St. Martin have a mentality, and I know a lot of places around the world have that kind of mentality where if I ain't do it, then it ain't good enough. Me, round of applause to everybody. Yo, Biggs, you don't have to be involved in everything to cheer it on. When the numbers come out and they do what they do, then you guys can, decide and debate about it, so forth and so forth. Until then, big ups once again to the Ministry of TIAT, big ups to the organizers of Soul Beach, and personally, I would love to see it back in 2026. We have to talk about a situation that occurred where two students were involved in a fight, and one of the students suffered a severe injury to his head, mouth bleeding. Basically, he was knocked out. Now, I know that there are a lot of teachers and community officials that always preach about the fact that we have to bring more awareness towards bullying, which is in fact to one degree correct, but the root of the problem goes way deeper than that. All right, we have to be mindful of the environments in which these kids come from. And as I always say, there's no one plaster to cover the cut that we are suffering here in St. Martin, but I do hope that we can find a solution so it goes deeper than just bringing awareness to the school. And I have a son that's about to enter high school, and I'm gonna do my best to tell my son all the time, keep your hands to yourself, be mindful of your words, watch who you're hanging around, and God forbid that if my child goes to school and my child get jumped.
Oh my God! It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
God forbid. For today's Caribbean Chronicles, we're going to be taking a look at the murder rate in the Caribbean, in some islands of the Caribbean back in 2024. Unfortunately, the Caribbean region was grappled with an alarming high murder rate, particularly in Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, and Haiti. Jamaica reported 1,039 homicides by November 23, 2024, reflecting a slight increase from 995 during the same period back in 2023. Next up, we have Trinidad and Tobago, which saw a surge in homicides with over 620 murders reported by late December 2024. And the next one on the list, we had Haiti with over 5,000. Jesus Christ, I just said that. 5,600 people were reported killed in Haiti last year as a UN-backed mission led by Kenya struggles to contain rampant gang violence, according to officials. The number of killings increased by more than 20% compared with all of 2023, according to the UN Human Rights Office. In addition, there were more than 2,200 people that were reported injured and nearly 1,500 were kidnapped. That is crazy. As we take a look at the global scope, this ain't the best news, but it gotta be told in case you don't know. As of May 2025, a new COVID-19 strain has been detected, which first started out in China and has now spread even to parts of the United States. According to reports, this new COVID-19 strain is known as NB1.8.1, and it is making headlines globally, emerging as a subvariant of the Omicron lineage. Yes, and I ain't even reading this anymore at all. We're gonna be cool. Protect yourself. Take your vitamins, do what you gotta do, all right? In this segment of Once Upon a Time, I want to take us way back into time as we dig in the crates, basically, to discover how St. Martin actually got its name. Now, it happened back in 1493 when Christopher Columbus was on his second voyage. What happened? I ain't stutter. I ain't stutter. Christopher Columbus. Upon first sighting the island, he named it Isla de San Martin after St. Martin of Tours because it was November 11, St. Martin's Day. However, though he claimed it as a Spanish territory, you got a peep game now, he claimed it as a Spanish territory, but Columbus never actually stepped foot here. And Spain made the settlement of the island a very low priority. And we're going to stop it right there because the history continues in the next segment of Once Upon a Time. Bruh. In this segment called This Can Be Life, we basically take a look at stories from around the world, put a few of them together, and bring it to you. Because what I realize is that the world has no shortage of people that missing screws in some way, shape, or form. A Swiss woman is such a fan of Red Bull that she reportedly got the energy drink can's barcode tattooed on her skin. Let that sink in. The barcode that she scanned, that she tattooed on her skin, actually works.
Look at this fella trying.
This one is out of Belgium, where a woman was banned from the zoo for having an affair with a chimpanzee. You can't make this stuff up. This can't be life. Next segment. In this segment titled Spotlight, we like to highlight artists, athletes, community leaders, anybody that's doing something positive or something that's impactful in the community, regionally or globally. It doesn't really matter. Now, for our first Spotlight individual, I want to big up BRG Hollywood because, you know, time to grind. And he's been on a tear, and I gotta big him up, gotta big up his parents, gotta big up the community that's behind of him, gotta big up all the fans that's been behind of him. BRG Hollywood released his hit song, Time to Grind, a few weeks just before St. Martin Carnival, and since then he released 2 more bangers titled What the Helly and Pocket Rocket. Keep your foot on the neck. You already know, Spotlight artists for the very first episode. Well, as the name implies, for the foodies, it's all about food. We highlight restaurants, we highlight certain dishes. It's everything about food. And who don't like food? I love food, you love food, we love food together. First place I want to highlight is one of my favorite places, locally owned, located on Bush Road, kind of across from KFC, depending on how you look at it, or right in front of Cassius, depending on how you look at it, right? And that is Bob's Deli. Big ups to my people over there at Bob's Deli, Kimberly and your staff. Big ups to you. Bob's Deli is open from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. and they serve breakfast and lunch, buffet style. So they weigh the food, you ask what you want, they weigh it, they put it in a plate, they weigh it, you pay, you go about your way. You can eat there as well, but let me tell you, finger licking good food. Now, she told me she closes at 4, right? But usually by the time I reach there, if I happen to reach there at 2 o'clock, most of the good food is done. And I'm talking things like salmon, scalloped potato, oxtail, satay, bami, and it changes. The menu changes. It's not like some places that you go to and it's always the same thing every single day. Nah, it might have your standards, but most of the days, it switches up. So make sure that you check out my people over there at Bob's Deli from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. or I should say, while food lasts. And food don't last because it's that good. As you can see what the name implies, poor decisions, because it's all about drinks. And in today's episode, for the very first episode, by the way, I'm not sponsored by Beatbox at all. But I hope to be sponsored by Beatbox soon, very soon. Nevertheless, I've been having a few of these, and this is an alcoholic beverage. This one is called Juicy Mango. Let me tell you guys that this is simply amazing. And you can find this at various supermarkets across the island. As I was told, I think it's distributed by Caribbean Liquors. I hope I ain't got that wrong. Nevertheless, Beatbox has 11.1% alcohol by volume. Pour this over ice, serve it chilled. For me, simply amazing. This is one of my favorite flavors. I haven't tried every flavor, but one of my favorite flavors is definitely Juicy Mango. And they got a ton of flavors such as Orange Blast, Cherry Lemonade, Blue Raspberry, Fruit Punch, Cranberry Dreams, Green Apple, Peach Punch, Pink Lemonade, Fresh Watermelon, my favorite Juicy Mango. I think I said that like twice, right? Hard tea, lemon hard tea, mango hard tea, and peach hard tea. Now, don't say I didn't warn you, because this thing, it tastes like juice, but it hit like Bruce Lee. Now, one of the most beautiful things about living in the Caribbean is that we get to experience some of the most beautiful beaches in the world. And me, coming from St. Martin, I grew up in the beach. I could swim probably before I could walk. My dad had a boat. Grew up on the boat, summers, weekdays, every day. I ain't from the country. I'm from the city. I'm from the Bay Side, as they would say. This segment is definitely one of my favorite segments. It's called Beach of the Week. And for the very first beach, I'm going to take you guys to Long Bay. On the French side, Long Bay is just simply beautiful. For me, I think it stretches for about 3 to 4 miles from end to end. Could be more.
If I cannot see in the water, I am not getting any.
Usually quiet. Is not one of those overpopulated beaches, so when you pull up over there, a long stretch of beach, and you gotta have nobody next to you like some of the other beaches where and they're harassing you with chairs. There's no chairs, there's barely any shade. It's just you, the gray blue waters, and the sand. That's it. So the first beach of the week for me, Long Bay, one of my favorites. Forgiveness. Forgiveness is about self, never about the other person. Let me repeat. Forgiveness is about self. It's never about the other person. I'ma forgive you. And whatever is with you has to stay with you until you forgive yourself. We can all make mistakes. We can all start over. The only thing we can't come back from is death. Inspirational words of the day. Well, that's it. It's a wrap. Finish. Done. C'est acabó. C'est fini. The very first episode of Everything and the Truth, hosted by yours truly Verse. I do hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that it was a little funny, educational, informative, and all that and more. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell on YouTube. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We got something new going on here, and it will continue to grow. If you want to be a part of the show, if you want to be a sponsor for the show, hit the email right below in the description, and I'll be more than happy to have you on board as a partner of this show. Everything and the Truth. Until next time, see you. Thanks for tuning in.